everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about all the manicures that I wore for the month of February. If you missed my nail polish goals for 2024, one of my goals was to wear untried polishes as much as possible. For the month of February, the majority of the polishes I wore were untrieds. I did have a couple that I have previously worn in recent years or recent months. I did pull those back out, but the rest of these were untried polishes. So I am excited to share with you guys what I wore for February. It was a fun month. I had plans to do Valentine-esque manicures for the majority of February. The first one was a copycat from Diana from Some Call Me Coco. She pulled this manicure off of Google, and I went and searched for that photo so I could put it in this video. So this is kind of the manicure idea that she had. Her execution was great. Her manicure was beautiful. I will list her channel down below as well. I pulled out China Glaze, Red Pearl, Fancy Gloss, Steel Orchid, Dani Vianna Macaron, and ILNP Compass for this manicure. Her execution was definitely different than mine, and hers looked better than mine. The trouble I had with this manicure, while I liked the color choice, one, the polishes didn't dry, and I'm not sure what happened. I did change up base coats for that manicure, and I'm thinking maybe that was part of my problem initially. But it just wasn't my cup of tea. I painted this manicure on a Sunday and ended up taking it off like the next day or that night just because it did not dry down for me for some reason. I'm not really sure what happened. It just wasn't my cup of tea. It didn't turn out the way I thought it would. The next manicure that I liked the execution of it, but one particular polish is a bear to work with, and that's the polish that I created. It is a bright blue, like in between a royal blue and a cobalt blue, and then there's holographic glitter in there. I created this polish playing around with some supplies that I had. Knew the polish was probably going to be a bear to wear, apply, remove, that kind of thing, because the pigment for this polish, that blue pigment, stains. Absolutely terrible. I created Blue Sapphire, wanted to wear it over top of the Essie polish. It was beautiful, but when I went to remove it, there was blue everywhere. My cuticles were blue, my nails were stained a little bit from it, and I'm like, oh, this is not going to be a good combo. So I am not sure if I'm going to hang on to that polish. I'm going to be hard-pressed to wear it again because of the staining with removal and just the overall pigment of this polish. I'm going to hang on to it for a little bit and possibly try it again. My husband even said something about him trying it out and see what he thinks, and I'm like, I don't really want to wear that one again. The next and final one that I pulled and didn't really care for is an Emily Damali polish. This is Haunting Your Own House. This is a polish I picked out from Polish Pickup a couple years ago. It is a glitter-packed base. It's pink and purple, and I think it has purple flakes in it with those pink glitters, and I thought that'd be perfect for a Valentine's polish. So I put it on. Overall, was not pleased with the formula of that one. I don't know if that's one I will reach for again. I don't know if it's one I will keep. I may end up trying to destash that polish because I was not overly impressed with it. I don't know what happened. And I had another issue with this one where it didn't dry, and I don't know what I did wrong. I usually don't have any trouble at all with polishes drying. I use a fast dry top coat. My nails are good to go within like 30 minutes. This time, I think the only thing I did different was I used a different base coat that's getting kind of old, and I've had it for a while, and I thought maybe that was it. It just didn't dry down. I could push, take your nail and push the product off of it. I could put dents in it. It was getting dinged. I'm not sure what happened in coats. I think that was the majority of my problem, because today's manicure, I used the same base coat as I did with that manicure, and I don't have any issues at all with this one. So I think I just didn't wait long enough between coats. That polish from Emily Damali is beautiful, but it's not my cup of tea. It's not as pretty as I thought. But all that aside, it's a beautiful polish. I just don't think it's one that I will necessarily wear again. I will try to revisit it. I'm going to put it back on my rack and see if I revisit it, try it again, see what happens, maybe for like the spring or summer, and go from there. The rest of these I really enjoyed. So we're going to start with the very first manicure that I did for the month. I got a new polish from Orly. This is called Sea Spray. It is a beautiful white shimmer polish that has like a peachy to golden to red color shift in the shimmer. And then I put Bed of Roses from Rogue Lacquer over top of it. That was my very first polish out of the gate for February, and I wanted something kind of Valentine's-esque, but not necessarily pink or red. So I thought this would be beautiful, and you guys, I fell in love with it. It is such a beautiful polish. It was a 3-coat polish, I think. I think actually what I did was I applied a blurring, or like a, what do they call that? Blurring base coat. I applied Color Boost from Monarch Lacquer. That's what it was. It's kind of like a blurring polish. You put it down as a base. It's a white base. And I tried doing that and then put 2 layers of the Orly polish over that just so I didn't have to build it up in 3 to 4 coats. That actually worked really well that way. I will link the Color Boost polish down below. I also have a discount code for Monarch Lacquer. It is an affiliate code, but it does allow you guys to save some money on their products, and it does also support my channel. So if you use that code or my link, thank you so much for your support. But that'll be listed in the description box of this video. It was a gorgeous manicure. I fell in love with it. Wasn't sure of it at first, but I really loved the white nail trend with that shimmer, and then you put the topper over it. It was beautiful. The next polish I wore, this is a combo. These were both untried polishes. This is one that I wasn't sure I liked at first, but I was floored by the actual base polish, and that was California Raspberry from OPI. That is a solid 1-coat polish. It has a little bit of silver shimmer in it. If you have that polish or happen to find it at like TJ Maxx, Marshall's, discount stores, try to pick it up because it is such a beautiful like fuchsia magenta base. Then you've got that subtle hint of silver shimmer. It is a solid 1-coater. I changed the brush out on it with 4 KB shimmer brushes. That did make application a little easier for me, but it is such a gorgeous polish. Then I paired it with another untried from Noodles Nail Polish called Dunky Junky. That is a polish that came out in Polish Pickup for their junk food theme last May, June, I think. This is a really fun polish as well. It's a white base and has red and orange, I think it's red and orange glitters in it. Really fun polish. That was a 2 to 3 coater, but I only put it on my ring finger as an accent nail, and then over the OPI polish I put China Glaze Fairy Dust just for something a little different. Loved that polish. The removal of the Noodles Nail Polish was tricky though, so if you maybe haven't wore it, maybe try a peel-off base coat, or just know that you're going to have to soak the nail a little bit before removal, because I had glitters that were stragglers and had to go back in and scrub a little bit to get the glitters off. But with that said, it was a really fun manicure. The next one is another untried. I wanted a red polish, and I went through my Starrily collection and found a red magnetic that is called Blood Moon. I had not worn a Starrily polish, specifically their magnetics. I hadn't worn any of those yet, and I really wanted a magnetic. With this polish, it was opaque in 2 coats, absolutely stunning, but I'm not very good at magnetizing polishes. I will say that. I don't know what it is. Some of my polishes look great magnetized, other ones, they don't magnetize the way they should. I even tried a top coat from DRK that's supposed to help with magnetizing polishes. Don't like that top coat. FYI, I just feel like it's extra work to use that versus just sitting there hovering, your magnet. But I struggle with magnetic polishes. Sometimes they work, but 99% of the time they don't work. For me anyway. I had a couple fingers that were magnetized, and my husband's like, yeah, you really can't see the magnetic thing. I think it was these 2 fingers were full-on magnetized, and the rest of them was kind of like, no, we're not going to magnetize. So I struggled a little bit, but with that aside, this was beautiful. It was such a pretty polish. It was perfect for what I wanted. Absolutely stunning. Beautiful. The next one I went in with is a pink leaning manicure. I got a new polish from Salon Perfect recently called Birthday Cake. It is part of their Dippin' Dots collection. If you missed out, I shared a video not too long ago about finding the Dippin' Dots polishes from Salon Perfect on clearance at Walmart. I did pick these up. I think Birthday Cake I had to actually order off of the Salon Perfect website, so it wasn't on clearance, but it is what it is. Color brush, but it worked really well. That was opaque in 2 coats. And then I went in with my cult favorite black polish, Oil Slick from Salon Perfect. That will forever have a special place in my heart because it is such a good black polish. And then I topped that with Shine On Crazy Diamond from Orly. I did do a little bit of stamping. I loved it. I didn't want to take it off, but was just kind of ready to move on to something else. So after that, I went in with another untried. This is Atomic's Redrum. This is a beautiful polish, you guys. It's stunning. I fell in love with it. Wasn't sure how I felt about it at first, but as time went on, I really enjoyed it. I ended up kind of making a mistake putting a topper that was a little too dense over this polish, and I used Pinnacle Polish Truth. You can get those off of Etsy, I believe. It's a black and white micro glitter topper, but it's very densely packed, and I felt like it just overpowered that red base. My husband even agreed. He's like, yeah, I think it's a little too much. I posted about it on Instagram, and one of you guys was like, did you use a glitter smoothing top coat? Maybe that, lack of shine maybe is what's bothering you. So I went back in with an additional top coat and felt like I liked it much better that way. But the pictures you guys are seeing are before I did the additional top coat, I think. It's beautiful though. If you have Redrum from Atomic Polish and haven't worn it, I would highly suggest pulling it out because it's so shifty, so beautiful. So the next polish is one that I created. It is just a pink base polish with multicolored glitters in it. This is a polish I created last summer trying to dupe one from the brand LB that was coming out for Helly Handmade Creations last summer. I think it was in June. I had some random pink polishes laying around that I wasn't using. I think from Color Club. I think I used a couple polishes from Color Club that just weren't getting used, and I thought, let me play around and see what I can come up with. And then I put just some random glitters in there. I used some from Rogue Lacquer. I used ILNP. There's one from that, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But I put in a bunch of different things and created this polish. And I wanted a light pastel-y pink, and I knew this was a polish I wanted to pull out again because I haven't worn it since I created it last summer. So this doesn't have a name. I have yet to find a name for it. If you have suggestions, let me know in the comments down below. And it's got a special place in my heart because I don't have anything quite like it. The LB polish is a little different. It's got much more glitter in it, and it's a little bit more heavily packed with glitter than what my polish is. Mine's a little bit more delicate, but I also used flakies more than just glitters. But that's beautiful. I love it. Every time I wear it, one of my favorites for the month. The last manicure is what I currently have on right now. I pulled 2 untrieds from Rogue Lacquer. These were on my winter rack. So we have the color 1985, which is a beautiful magenta base with holographic flakes. And then I pulled in Enchantment from Rogue Lacquer, which is a dark like navy blue with holographic flakes. This is pretty. I wanted something on my nails, hurried up and painted my nails quickly this morning. I have an appointment this afternoon, and I'm like, I don't want to go with bare nails because if I wait and try to do my nails later this evening, it doesn't always work out that way. And I thought, I want something on my nails. So let's just, go ahead and paint them. So this is kind of what we are working with. I did that little 2-tone combination. I have Rogue's Enchantment on these 2 fingers and my thumb, and then this pink is 1985, which she brought back for Rewind last year. If you were able to get your hands on it, it's a good polish. So if you have it and maybe haven't wore it yet, try to pull it out. And then this hand, I just alternated colors a little bit. So we've got Enchantment here, and then 1985 here and on the thumb. So this is how this turned out, and I really like it. They were really opaque in 2 coats. Did a layer of glossy top coat, and I haven't had any. Hope that you enjoyed it month, or what polishes you ended up pulling out for February, and we'll see you guys in the next one.